Ruthie Albright and Ruthie Rocks, and we have some stats to go over and some goal setting tips to review today. So I should be able to see her in a second. I'm going to do a sound check and we will be on our way. Oh, please. Hello, hello. Hang on. Make sure we can hear the sound. I am so excited for this year. I am so excited for this year. And I know it's just going to be awesome. Come on, Facebook. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Oh, would be a good idea. Hold on. Well, I don't have my ear plugs in, so if I put them in now, I think it'll disconnect the sound. So we don't want to do that. So I'll do it without them today. Just won't be as good a sound, but we'll live. Yes. So I listened to one of my mentors who is like me, and she likes. Let me switch places here for just a second. I just want to start the show off showing you a present. So anyway, one of my mentors, she said that this company, and it's called Aaron Cohen, and I'll give it to you in a second. Looks like I got some food on there. That's funny. Anyway, so this is a great day timer, and I'm always looking every year for one that I can use that I will use, and I think this one's going to be it. And on the back, they put your picture, whatever picture you want on it. And on the front, they put your name. It's about $50 or $60 and it takes about a few days for you to get it. But it is really, really one of the best. Jimmy's joining me today. Oh, this is awesome way to start. Hold, please. Let's get Jimmy on here. Hold, please, Jimmy. Here he is. Hi, Jimmy.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, perfectly.
Good. I was just telling everybody that I found a day timer that I really like from one of my mentors. They recommended it, and it's got my name on the front and me and John in the back, and it's pretty thick, but it's got everything I need. You know, when you do classes, Jimmy, I don't know if you ever see that I write in the book sometimes. Mm-hmm. And like the 7 Effective Habits of Steve Covey, because I can never remember them all in order like you like to do. So I go back in my book because I know I wrote them where I wrote them, and I find them. I think I told you that before. But this book gives me, it is so cool because, so you have the whole month first, and then you have notes. And they're not, and I've already put my notes in for this week. Okay, I've already got my notes. I can handwrite them. I can scratch them out. And so for the month, I can do my notes. And then February, the same thing. So for me, this is going to work perfectly. I think this is the best one I've ever had. So I wanted to tell everybody, you know, if they are interested, it's ERINCONDREN. So it's, I'm going to say it again, ERINCONDREN, and I'll write it down, .com. And it takes a couple of days to get it, but I'm so jazzed, and John likes it. I'm going to get him one because I don't know about you. Do you write things down, Jimmy?
Well, I know when you rely on your computer, then the internet goes down, or you have something you can't get, or you have to wait for it to boot up. On paper is that, see, Gary Vee said it in his book. The act of writing stuff down is actually a powerful thing. So that's in his book.
Yeah.
You just had me read.
Yeah. It's a good book, huh?
Yeah, it was a good book. Yeah. I like the back part where he had all the real stories.
Yes.
This person comes to you and says this, and how do you handle that? And he's, you know, his number one go-to thing was either gratitude or patience, it seemed like.
Yes.
He's grateful that he has that problem because he said, and then accountability. Who hired this person? Oh yeah, it was me. Oh shoot.
Oh, that's funny. I posted the stats for today. Not much has changed. We've got 100. We did 131 deals in December. Hi, Annetta. Good to see you. Hello, Annetta. Annetta. Good morning and Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us today, Annetta. That beautiful smile. I can feel it right through the picture. So we ended up with 21 days of inventory today. I think that'll pick up, don't you?
I hope so, because some people are waiting after the holidays. So hopefully some.
Yeah. And, but we ended up 131 and we did 50,738 deals in 2021. Whoa. I just think that is an awfully lot. Everything else is kind of the same. Nothing really changed since the last time you're on the show, really. Oh, please, let me put this where I want it. I think I finally figured that out. Here's the historic sales by year. And we in the past 5 years, this is the biggest year.
And it says residential high-rise multiple dwelling. Okay, Clark County. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I think we're headed for topping it. I really do. Good morning. Happy New Year, Joan. Good morning. Good to see you. And there's Frank. Hi, Frank. Good morning. Good morning. Happy New Year. And good morning. Happy New Year, Karen. The gang's all here. Yay. Yeah. But this is, I think we're going to top it this year. What do you think?
Boy, that's a pretty big year to top, honestly. I don't think that we will.
Okay. Oh, good. We disagree again. I love it when we don't agree. Let's see. And then I showed this the other day. I don't think this was a show that you were on, though. Let's see. Let me hide this. Put this over here. I'm learning how to maneuver this thing. And I lost you in this process. Sorry. Here you come back.
That's all right.
There you go. So this is the median versus average for the year. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting that the average in January ended up being the median in December.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the average at the end of the year is 519. And as we, the average. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we got like $10 million homes that are selling. That, I think that affects that.
Oh, it definitely does. Definitely pulls it up for sure.
Yeah. But 430 even, my goodness, if you bought a home in January for 346, what'd you make, $80-some thousand? That's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
So what are your predictions for this year? Do you have any? Have you thought about it?
Well, I don't think we'll do as many deals as we did last year. And I think the sales prices are going to stop accelerating. We might go up 5% this year, but I don't think we're going to go up, we went 25, 30% last year. It's ridiculous, crazy.
Yeah.
If we go up 5%, I think that'll be legitimate because I think interest rates are going to go up.
Yeah, I think so too.
And they're up. I don't agree.
They're going to go up a little bit. I don't think they'll hit.
I think they're going to go up more than a little bit.
Oh, good.
You know why I think that? Here's the reason I think that. The Fed has said they're going to stop buying long-term bonds.
Yes.
And they're the number one buyer. If they back off $1 billion or $2 billion, it's going to really hit the interest rates market. Investors are going to say, well, if there's not as many buyers of bonds right now, I'll require a higher yield. And that translates into mortgages over a period of a few months. So if that starts happening in February or March or April, by June, July, August, we're going to have interest rates at least up 1 full percent, at least a full percent, maybe 1.5%.
Really?
And that's going to cause affordability to decline, which means prices are not going to be able to keep going up.
Right.
We'll see.
I don't, go ahead.
You had a post on on ruthierocks where a guy talks about the new dynamics of pricing. Yes. And he said investors are based on how much they can get for rent. And so that's, to me, the wild card to me originally was interest rates. Now it's the rental rates. That's the wild card to me. How much can tenants afford to pay?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And if people keep coming here from California, guess what? They can pay more.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, to them, it's a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, a $2,000 will get you an 800 square foot place in parts of California. So here, I mean, 2,000 will get you, a single family home. Yeah.
What I'm thinking of is all those homeless people. No wonder they're homeless. I read an article a week ago that said this lady and her husband both work and they're homeless. And they both have jobs. They can't afford to pay rent. So crazy. That
is crazy. That is very crazy. Very crazy. Well, I guess we shall see. So my prediction, okay, it's January 3rd. My prediction is by the end of the year, rates will be 3.94%. And you think it's going to, And you think it's going to happen by June?
Well, I think they'll be at 4.5 by the end of the year too. I think
Okay.
4 is too optimistic. We'll see.
I'm going to write these down so we can review them.
Okay.
And then I agree with you. I don't think home prices are going to increase more than 5%, because it's going to get to a point where people aren't going to be able to afford them. And so, I mean, that's the big thing in our city, I think, because, you know, we're kind of a blue collar city, don't you think? When you look
Absolutely.
when you think of the casino industry being the #1 industry.
Well, we're also kind of a combination of blue collar and retirees. There's a lot of retired people here, and
I do too.
we're lucky. We're lucky for that.
So I think that's going to keep the prices down. I believe that. So we'll see. We'll see. Yep. It's going to be an interesting year. I mean, hopefully there's not going to be a lockdown, right? Hopefully we're going to live a semi-normal life. I did order the new mask. Now that I know the cotton ones that we've been told to wear for 2 years don't work. Oh, they said that on the news. I cracked up. Well, Jimmy, today I wanted to talk a little bit about goals. And I know that we've done this before with Buffini, but I just thought I thought that's the way to start the year out. And so I have some slides here. Let me see if I can get her in the right place. I'm getting so good. There we go. So goals. And goals are essential to success. And I know that with Brian Buffini and with Tom Ferry, with anybody, they say, you know, if you don't have your roadmap, you'll never get there. So the goals represent your roadmap. And then I like the planning that helps you achieve those goals. So, you know, a lack of specific goals can leave you without direction, which is what I really just said. And think of the goals as your roadmap to living the good life. So the big thing about goals is, you know, everyone is designed differently when it comes to how they work and how they work their goals. And some people have difficulty setting them with end dates longer than 10 days. I understand that, because in this industry, it is hard. You know, we have a very dynamic industry, if you want to call it that. And then you have the big picture goals. So you've got to have your 10-day goals, and then your 90-day goals, and your year goals, your 5-year goals, you know, and they change. But if you don't have some awareness, I guess, of where you want to go, you'll never get there. And it's a tip, if you have I think Buffini has that heritage profile, and he uses the natural perspective focus. Now, I've never done a heritage profile with him. If I did, I don't remember. How about you?
I have one, and they send it to you, a really nice document, and you frame it. And I have mine framed somewhere in my office. I'd have to dig it out. But I think that you're right. Everyone has to look at their strengths and where they need to work, and figure out, when I set my goals, am I operating from my strengths, and am I compensating for my weaknesses? Because if you're a global perspective, you look at everything. You're specific. You look at very specific things. If you go into a restaurant, you don't just say, "Bring me some food."
Right.
You know what you want, and that's part of the goal things. It helps you be more specific with what you want. But I think the biggest key on here, it's not the how, it's not the what, it's the why. You like puppies, right?
Oh, I love puppies. Yes.
Well, where's the puppy in this goal stuff? If I don't see the puppy in there, I'm not going to work towards those goals. I lose my enthusiasm. Puppies bring enthusiasm. They bring fun. They bring joy. I got to make sure that my puppy is in there somehow, that I can see the puppy in there. Otherwise, I'm not going to do the work to hit the goals. The puppy is the most important thing to me. The puppy is the most important thing.
And that has to do with why. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? You know, and it can be difficult if there's a lack of connection to the why. Your why is a strong motivator and can help you better achieve a goal, because you have a reason or a purpose for accomplishing it. And that is so critical. I mean, my goal when I started the website business, and that was when John had his first cancer, was to have money coming in on a subscription membership basis, enough that he wouldn't have to work so hard. Mm-hmm. And that made me happy.
Right.
And,
right.
You know, and so it has to be more than just money, in my opinion.
Right. Money doesn't motivate people. It's what the money would do for you. John wouldn't have to work. That's
Yes.
the puppy. John doesn't have to work.
Yes.
He works because he wants to, not because he has to.
Yes. Right. And he's happy. And then once you've written down your goals, it's important to check and revisit them on your goals. That's why I love my new day timer, because I can go back and I can look at what my goals are, every couple weeks, every month. I do it for, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. And then it's interesting because on this particular handout that Buffini has, if you notice at the bottom, Jimmy, if this will actually play, if it's a PDF. So if you click it, it'll actually play the music, so that, guess what? Then you can start writing down your goals. And I have those here. Let me hide her. Let's see. Put this over here. And so you play the music like we did in class. Come on, move over. Please move over. I know. Let's see if I guess one at a time. I'm going to move you this way, maybe. No, I'm not going to move you this way.
Just take me out. Just take me out. It's okay.
Yeah, just for a minute. Okay, so what it does, it has your 10-day goals and spiritual, family, business, financial, and personal, which is what Jimmy always talks about. And then the 90-day goals, the same thing. And then the 1-year goals, and then the 5-year goals. And that's so important that you have some vehicle, to write these down. I think that's really important. So let me show this. Let me go back here a little bit. All right. And then one of the other things I wanted to mention today is teams. Teams are a big thing in our industry right now. A lot of teams, because, like John and I always thought 2 people can do the work of 3. And then as you add people, you should be becoming more efficient and letting you do the things that you do best. And that doesn't mean that you manage the team, because if you're managing the team, you're not doing what you do best, probably. So a lot of times I suggest to people that they get a manager. Mm-hmm. Somebody that just makes sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because if you're doing that, you're not making phone calls, you're not going on listing appointments, and so on. So I think that's important. And when you show your team you're committed to their personal and professional growth, you can increase retention and level them up for success. And I have to say that one of the things that John and I are going to do with our employees, if not this week, next week, is we're going to have one-on-one sessions with them and ask them what they want. What is their why? Why are they working for us? What do they hope to achieve? And we're going to have a meeting this week telling them that, they need to think about that, because we're going to do one-on-ones with them next week. And then twice a month, we're going to have a meeting. And we're going to talk about, the business and what's going on. Now, Aaron Taylor, with his team, he does it every week. But, we have a small team, so I think twice a month is going to be good. And our business isn't as dynamic as his. Obviously, he did 25 listings in January, so that's every day but Sunday or December, which is what I usually say. And so when you're dedicated to your team's success, and you do these one-on-ones, I think it has a lot of residual effect. Do you, Jimmy? Do you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. After I read Gary Vee's book, I'm reading a book from a guy named Harry Beckwith, and Harry's written, a few books. I've read a couple of them already. I really like his writing style, and he wrote this one with his wife, and he talked about what you're talking about. He said, if you're not spending time with people, you have no emotional bank account with them. There's no reason for them to stay with you. You got to spend time with them. There's no substitute. So if you have a meeting every 2 weeks, that's time. You're taking your time to meet with them, and you're showing them that they're important, or you wouldn't have the meeting.
Exactly. And then I think the word team itself I like, because people need to share their ideas and their tips and offer support to each other. And that's really big. Right now we have such a cohesive team. It's incredible. We've had a rough year, and we've had some moving parts and what have you. And now it's like everybody has come together, and it just makes me and John feel so grateful, to be ending up the 2021 and starting 2022 with such a wonderful team that we have.
Good.
And so here, if you've never done this, they say, for the first 15 minutes, collaborate, begin the meeting with company goals. And that's the other thing. John and I have how many new properties we want to get for property management this year. John knows how many listings he wants to take this year. And, we know how we want to streamline our process with the agents. And it's pretty efficient now, but there's always room for improvement. And we're going to have the gal that does the commission checks write personal notes to the agents.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have our goals set up for the meeting, and we've written them down. We're going to hand them out to everybody. And SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. And I think time-based to me is one of the most important things. When I ask somebody, okay, we're going to do this overall in the website business, we're in the process of updating a lot of the information. And that's a hard thing to say how long it's going to take, because we don't know what new information there is. I mean, we know we have a lot of books and things, but at the end of the day, that's a hard one to identify an end date. But still, we work within some time frame. How do you do it?
I saw Kathy Heaney this past week, and I talked about your numbers that you talk about, move here every day, and this many from California, this many investors. And I said, it came from applied analysis. And I said, I don't know how current it is. So she pulled it up. I think she said it's current as of October.
October 5th. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are the most recent numbers that we can get.
Yeah. It's really important. And then when you're having this goal setting meeting with your team, I like this one. Ensure that each person's goals include the main areas of their life. And what are they, Jimmy?
Family, business, financial, spiritual, personal.
Yeah. And he lumps financial and personal together, because one is business, and then you also have to have your personal financial house in order, as they say. And then you wrap it up and maybe get advice on how to break down any goal blocking barriers. I like that one. Like, sometimes getting phone numbers or things like that, email addresses.
Physical addresses. Yeah.
That becomes a problem. And the sessions should be your staff or your agents should be focused, and you should have a dynamic team that's poised for success. And I think that's all about, how you start it individually and then bring everybody together, and then you have a mission, and the company as a whole, like we have a mission. And so if you have a team, like, how many listings are you going to do? Remember the whiteboard where the guy wrote down how many appointments he went on every day? It was incredible,
Yes.
but that I like writing things down. I think that, like, how many calls did you make today? 0. That doesn't work. And so I think writing things down and people seeing it that's instant accountability.
Well, and our friend Annetta said the thing that she got the most out of the book, Feeney Coaching, was the accountability, writing it down. She said, I'm really religious about writing down. I don't know if it's her calls or her appointments. I'm not sure exactly what Annetta's tracking, but I don't know if she's tracking notes or whatever, but she's here. You could ask her.
Yeah. Annetta, how do you make your own self accountable? Put it in the chat for us. And then here's some tips. So you have the goals, you have your why, you got your team all geared up, and then you have to tell people that they have to manage their energy, because there's so many distractions in our industry. It's incredible. I mean, I get distracted so much. I get to the office around 10 o'clock. And for the next 3 hours, I know I'm not going to get any of my things accomplished, probably, because I'm helping people that need answers right away. So they're not sitting around waiting. And so that's how at our office we manage the energy, so their energy doesn't get drained. And that's a big one. That is a big one. And then
somebody has to lead the parade, Ruthie. Somebody has to lead the parade. You got to have your little thing, your baton or whatever you call it. Somebody's got to lead the parade. That's what you got to do when you get there. You got to lead the parade.
I do. I love it though. And then we talked about the goals. That's tip number 2. So you've written them down. Now you have to review them, and then schedule your week. And that's what I love the day timer for. I love the that sheet I showed earlier. You group your goals into spiritual, business, personal, financial, and family, and puppies, and and then we have that chart of how to win the day. That's excellent. I love to use that. That's a little accountability sheet in itself. I'll show that in a minute. And then, requalify your database. Oh my gosh. Let's see. John's assistant agent, Tracy, that's what we're going to work on the first couple weeks of this year. Because we've got agents, property owners, tenants, John's past clients, all these different groups, and we're putting them in. We're using the Buffini CRM because to get him to do the items of value, mailing those out, the emails on the 15th, and then writing the personal notes. And so we're going to use his system. I've never used it before, but we're going to use it this year and see how it works. And I think it'll be easy for Tracy to do that. So once we get it all set up, so you have to get your database in order. And I always talk about grouping things and sourcing things and making sure that if you're doing a farm, group your farm into 2-story homes, single-story homes, things that people that have lived there more than 5 years. But you need to have some information so you can retrieve it to do a special marketing campaign.
Very good, yeah.
So that's important. And then, of course, the dialogues. Oh, by the way, if you were buying or selling the home or had a friend or family member who was, do you have a real estate agent you would refer them to? I mean, there's many different ways to say that, but it works. It just works. And then they have the different ways. If you know the people, and if they say, yes, I have someone, you say, well, that's great. It's important that you have a qualified professional to work with. And that point is, not to invest your time in them because they have someone. And you don't want to, if the code of ethics says we can't do it anyway, but you shouldn't do it because it's a waste of your time and theirs. And then if they say, no, I don't have anyone, then you say, well, I'd like to be that person. And then you can exchange contact information. So here's Annetta. Annetta she says the CRM tells you how many calls, notes, pop-bys to do a day to reach your goal. It's all the CRM, not the coaching. So she likes her CRM to be her accountability partner, not a coach. Whoops, not a coach. And then she says the coaching through Buffini is to only go over the things you do not give more than what's already in the CRM. So, I think that's a good comment. So, Jimmy, I think that was about it for me, except for the last tip, which is invest in yourself. And I listen, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And Benjamin Franklin said that. And I listen to his every Tuesday, which will be tomorrow morning when I'm walking. I listen to his podcast. And I would say 90% of the time, I listen to it beginning to end. He's had a couple topics that really didn't interest me, so I went on to Tom Ferry and listened to Tom, because Tom does like a 5-second or seems like 5 seconds, probably a minute Monday motivator, and then Tom does his podcast, I believe, on Thursday. So if I miss Thursdays, I'll listen to his on Tuesday if I don't like Buffini's. but 90% of the time, Buffini's really good. Totally different personalities, totally different delivery, and subject matter. Buffini's very much more cerebral, he puts things in a very different light than Tom Ferry. Tom Ferry, he just goes at it like a coach, like a football coach or something.
Yeah.
And I like them both. I get.
Yeah, they're both great.
I don't know. I wouldn't let either one. I would not let either one of them go. They both attacked me all the time. And I think that was it for me. Yeah, that was it for me. And I'm on my way to the dentist. Yay!
Oh boy. Well, I did my 10-day goals yesterday, Saturday. I did my 10-day goals on Saturday, and one of them is to listen to 3 Buffinis, 2 podcasts, and the bold predictions. So I'll probably listen to 2 of them today, and then maybe his 1 tomorrow. So that would be my 3.
Cool. Bold predictions is it's the best one he ever did. So I really like that. Jimmy, thank you so much for joining me today. And are you going to be here tomorrow? You have your meeting.
Sales meeting tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. I won't be here tomorrow. Yeah.
So maybe I'll see you Wednesday.
Maybe you'll see me Wednesday.
Okay, everybody. Have a great first Monday of the year, and start it out with a song in your heart and a smile on your face. I love you all.